A very handy way to share your photographs with either a client or another photographer who was on the photo shoot with you is by creating a PDF document, because just about every computer in the world I know has software to open a PDF. So the first thing I do when I'm going to create a PDF to share with somebody, be it a client or a friend, I create a quick collection. Here I've got 16 images in my quick collection. And to refresh, to create a quick collection, all I need to do is go to a folder and press B to add it to a quick collection. And now my quick collection has 17 images in it. I want to save it to an even 16. So I'll press B again now that I'm in the quick collection to remove this. So I have all of my photos in the quick collection. Now let's go into the slideshow module, because this is where I make the magic happen to export it as a PDF. I've got some templates set up. I've got Doug's PDF set up, and I'll show you exactly how I created this. In the options window, notice you have an option for a stroke border. I've chosen 1 pixel, and if I deselect stroke border, you see exactly where it appeared on the image. Cast shadow. Now you can copy down these settings. Actually, I'll zoom in on these settings so you can copy them down if you want to. But if I deselect cast shadow, it's gone. And I think the cast shadow adds a nice touch to it. Show guides. This is for my layout. Now notice these guides, the way they're set up. I can actually change these, and it will change where the photo appears in the image. Now notice the preset is no longer selected because I've changed it. I'm going to go back to the preset. Identity plate. Now this is Doug Plus Rocks Photography. It shows at the top here. Now if I wanted to, I could leave this out of the image. I'm just going to double click this to type something new in there. Actually, I'm going to deselect this. If you have an identity plate set up on your machine, you can use the main identity plate, and I've shown you how to do this in another lesson, or I can choose edit and just write my name in there. And now notice the text is way too big. So I'm going to scale this and reposition it. Watermarking, I don't want to include rating stars. These are rating stars I added in the Lightroom library module. I don't want to include those, but just to show you what they would look like. Well, this image doesn't have a rating star on it, so it doesn't show. Text overlays, I don't want to include those. Shadow, I've already got my cast shadow on there, so I don't need this shadow. Titles, intro screen. An intro screen, this is the first slide that will show up. And there I've got Doug Plus Rocks Photography, but it's kind of small, so I'm going to edit this a little bit. I'm actually going to call this The Day at Ringling, because these were shot at Ringling Museum. I'm going to choose OK, and now I'm going to scale it so it appears a little bit bigger. An ending screen, I can choose that as well. This will be a final slide in my PDF, and I'm going to add the identity plate, and I'm going to increase it to fill the screen. Now slideshow mode I don't need because it's a PDF. Pan and zoom I don't need because it's a PDF. I showed you how to create a video slideshow in an earlier lesson, so I'm going to click Export PDF. Now it asks me where I'm going to save this. So I'll save this on my desktop. And quality 90, that is perfect. Automatically show full screen. This will blow it up to full screen. Now some of your users might not be familiar with full screen, so I would not choose this because they may not know how to get out of full screen. So I'm going to export this at 1920 by 1080. You can export it at any size you want. And here under common sizes, you have others. The 16 by 1200 screen, which would be the screen of your computer, so on and so forth. But I'm going to export it at 1920 by 1080 and click export. And there it's exporting my slideshow. Now the slideshow is exported, but notice it shows this as an unsaved slideshow. I'm going to create a saved slideshow so I can add images to this in the future. And I'm going to call this Ringling and click create. And there it is. Ringling is a saved slideshow. And let me show you how this works. So now I'm going to go back into the library. And here I have two images. And to add these, all I need to do is go down to collections. Notice that Ringling shows up in here. There's my Ringling collection. All I need to do is go back into the library and select two images that I want to add. I'll add these two and just drag them into the collection. And now I go back into my slideshow module and notice in Ringling now there are 18 and the latest two images that I added are in there. So there you have it, creating a PDF slideshow and creating a saved slideshow in Lightroom.